Hey Techno Studs, when a router sends out a router advertisement, it will send out information about the default gateway, about itself, to the client. But it also will send out information on what that client should do next. Should it reach out to a DHCP version 6 server for additional options? Or should it reach out for an IP address? Or should it create its own IP address? So let's take a look at those different flags and how to set those different flags. We're going to make these configuration changes on switch 1. Switch 1 is the default gateways for all of our different VLANs. So it's the appropriate spot to be setting this up on, at least for this demo. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be setting it up so that the router advertisements that are sent out are going to tell the client what it's going to do next. We are going to, if we configure SLAAC, it would set the auto configure flag to 1, letting that client know that it's going to auto configure an IP address for it. It is stateless. Or what we could do is we could set it to SLAAC plus DHCP version 6. So we are going to turn on the other flag on here, so that way it will reach out to a DHCP version 6 to get some additional information. I'll also show you how to turn on the manage flag, so that way we turn it DHCP version 6 on, so then it would actually reach out to a DHCP version 6 to get its IP address as well. Now, one thing to note is that I'm not actually going to turn on SLAAC at this point in time. We're just going to take a look at how to adjust these flags. So in essence, in the end of this demo, we won't have this all up and running and working. I'm just going to be showing you how to turn on. In fact, actually this one right here just gets turned on when you turn SLAAC on. So we're going to take a look at these two configurations right here of how to set up these flags on the network. And then you can take this and apply it as we talk about further about turning on these different options. So here I am on my switch, and I need to make these changes on the individual interfaces. So I'm going to get onto the interface. And in this case, it's going to be our switch virtual interface. So I'm going to jump onto our switch virtual interfaces, our SVIs. And this particular one, let's take a look at VLAN 10 and do this for VLAN 10. So I'm going to do get into global configuration mode first and look at interface interface VLAN 10. So we get into that switch virtual interface, and then I'm going to type in IPv6 ND other config flag. Okay, so if I had turned SLAAC on, the flag for the auto configuration would already be turned on. This would then turn the O flag on, and I would hit that, and the O flag would then be turned on. And to remove it, it's as simple as the same command with a no at the front, and then we just go back to straight SLAAC. So this is how to turn on SLAAC plus DHCP version 6, and then turn the second part off. So now it's just SLAAC at this point. And then I can also do the same thing if I want to just point it to and say, hey, go find your IP address from a DHCP version 6. I'm going to type in IPv6 ND managed -config -flag and hit enter. And now the clients on this network will just go reach out to a DHCP version 6 for their IP address. So, and then if I want to, this would also turn the auto config flag off and also turn off the other flag off. But I want those flags to be on, so I'm going to type in no IP version 6 ND manage -config -flag. There you have it. So that's how to turn on the different flags as the router advertisement. If the router advertisement was going out, then those flags would be turned on by turning on those commands that we just did.